Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. Wizards decided to bring us back to Innistrad, so we followed suit with this deck tech. Ever since Olivia Voldaren was first printed in the original Innistrad set, players have flocked to her as the commander of choice for Vampire Tribal. Sure, there are other multicolor commanders that are also vampires, but how many can actually make other vampires? Anyways, we have an awesome budget commander deck list to share with you today. This is a sponsored deck tech by TCGplayer.com, so you'll see the price of each card we talk about right below it as we talk about it. Click on the first link in the description and boom, you get to see the entire deck list along with the cost and the easiest checkout system known to man. Spoiler alert, the entire list costs less than $120. Yeah, I know. Enjoy. For those of you only familiar with the new Olivia coming out next week, let's run down what her less aggressive counterpart does. For 4 mana, you get a 3/3 flyer, which is average. For 2 mana, you can deal 1 damage to another creature. That creature becomes a vampire, and you also put a +1/+1 counter on Olivia. If you have 5 mana available, you can gain control of a vampire as long as you control Olivia. Now, Olivia works on 2 levels. You can use her to shoot down any creature as long as you have enough red mana and make her huge in the process. You can even shoot your own creatures to make her bigger. That alone makes her a threat. See something you like on your opponent's board? 7 mana makes it yours as well as giving you another vampire. Olivia is strong enough that we could be doing the whole deck tech just about her. We don't want to forget why we're here though. This video is about the other 47 vampires in the deck. With any tribal deck, you want to make the weak individual creature strong as a team by jamming in as many lords as possible. Captivating Vampire, Adaptive Automaton, Ascendant Evankar, and Stromkirk Captain all pump up the team. Be careful with the Evankar though, as he will shrink your non-black creatures. If the top card of your library is black, then Vampire Nocturnus gives all vampires +2/+1. Sacrificing creatures to Indulgent Aristocrat will put +1/+1 counters on all your vampires. And assuming you have lands, preferably swamps, Guldraw's Overseer can pump the power of your team with its landfall trigger. Rakish Air and Stensia Masquerade have the same effect. When a vampire deals damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Mephidros Vampire grants the same effect when your creatures damage other creatures. Nice combo with Olivia, if you ask me. Necropolis Regent has the biggest version of this effect as it puts counters on your creatures equal to the combat damage it deals to a player. If you can manage to flip Bloodline Keeper, it turns into the best anthem of all, giving other vampires +2/+2. Both sides can make 2/2 vampires, so it won't be as hard as you think. Bloodlord of Vaskoth is another interesting way to bulk up your vampires. Each vampire you cast gains Bloodthirst, so as long as you can get in for damage, things will get out of control. Olivia's Bloodsworn is not a lord, but it is the deck's forerunner of Slaughter. Paying red mana gives a vampire haste until end of turn. Falkenrath Gorger is also an interesting creature that gives each vampire a madness cost equal to its mana cost. Need to discard a vampire? Cast it anyway. Blood Artist and Falkenrath Noble both deal damage and gain life when a creature dies and can protect you from wraths or just help push extra damage through. Bloodseeker looks harmless but can spell doom for those trying to glut the board with creatures. Anawan the Rune Sage and Butcher of Malakir can also keep these decks in check and make sure you maintain the advantage in creatures. Need to deal with a single creature. Drana Colostria Bloodchief and Dark Imposter can fill that role as long as you have the mana. Guldraw's Assassin can be a force once you level it up. Kalitas, Bloodchief of Get, can blow up creatures and make you vampires. Vampiric Dragon is basically a bigger, less convincing Olivia. Still good though. If you have trouble pushing damage through, Chancellor of the Dross is your biggest, most imposing vampire. It can even cause players to lose life before the game starts. Malakir Blood Witch is the gray merchant of this deck. Get a bunch of vampires in play and it may be enough to knock out multiple players. Colostria Highborn can cause a player to lose 2 life when a vampire dies as long as you have black mana. Now, there aren't a lot of non-creature spells in the deck, and for good reason, since they aren't vampires, but they do support the theme or even possibly create more of them. Stoneforge Masterwork can make Olivia huge and have her do the work herself. Blade of the Bloodchief is the essential vampire equipment and also combos with Olivia. Putting 2/+1/+1 counters on a creature every time something dies is pure insanity. Riptide Replicator, Volras Laboratory, and Call the Bloodline can all make more vampires. Need to draw cards? Slate of Ancestry, Skull Clamp, and Vampiric Rites can help you refill your hand. If someone keeps blowing up your board, cast Living Death and get all your vampires back. Card is not just for zombies after all. The mana base is pretty simple. We are trying to save money here after all. You have Terramorphic and Evolving Wilds to get your colors along with 7 quote-unquote duels. Temple of the False God gives you a little extra mana, and Molten Slag Heap is a storage land we can sink excess mana into over time. Also 2 lands to cycle for extra value. Rakdos Signet is also in for a little extra fixing and acceleration. Even on a budget, there's room for Thran Dynamo, Soul Ring, and Worn Power Stone. Olivia is pretty mana hungry, so it doesn't hurt to add some rocks in. The best part about this deck is that it's real cheap. Olivia costs around $10, and the next expensive card is Kalitas or Captivating Vampire at 7. You can probably trade for most of the deck or dig it out of bulk. 11 of the cards in the deck come out this weekend, so get a head start and pick them up at pre-release. Want to make the deck better? Bloodghast, Nirkana Revenant, and the new Kalitas or Drana are some of the omissions from the deck due to costs. Coat of Arms and Akroma's Memorial will make your vampires unstoppable. Of course, there's the mana base too, but we aren't millionaires. We hope you enjoyed this budget deck tech and the upcoming Shadows pre-release. Perhaps we should stick to the theme and do zombies or humans next. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to click the first link in the description for the full deck list and total price of the deck. Cheaper than you might think. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.